Halo semua, perkenalkan nama saya Kadek Dirga Yusa Purnami Dewi dengan NIM 20156554008, nomor absen 4 dari jurusan Akuntansi, Prodi D4 Akuntansi Perpajakan, Politeknik Negeri Bali.
Halo, perkenalkan nama saya Putu Cahya Dewi dengan NIM 20156554016, nomor absen 7, Prodi D4 Akuntansi Perpajakan, Politeknik Negeri Bali.
Hai, perkenalkan nama saya Putu Marchellina Dewi, NIM 2015654030, absen 13, jurusan Akuntansi, Prodi D4 Akuntansi Perpajakan, Politeknik Negeri Bali.
Halo semuanya, perkenalkan nama saya Tiarra Andirawati dengan NIM 20156544040, nomor absen 17, jurusan Akuntansi, Prodi D4 Akuntansi Perpajakan, Politeknik Negeri Bali.
Halo, perkenalkan nama saya Sari dengan NIM 20156548, absen 21, dari jurusan Akuntansi, Prodi D4 Akuntansi Perpajakan, Politeknik Negeri Bali.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Well, previously we discussed how to calculate PPh 21 in Excel. Now, we will continue the calculation of PPh 21, so let's get started. Okay, this is the table we will be looking for. First, we will try to find the amount of take-home pay and PPh 21 out to employees who don't have a taxpayer identification number and have a taxpayer identification number, or in Indonesian is called NPWP. Now, we will use SUMIF formula. Okay, the first step is type status NPWP in the first column. After that, type ada and tidak. Next, we type the equals SUMIF, then left brackets. Next, we move to the PPh 21 sheet. Now, we block the table from C6 to C55. Then, the semicolon and the quotation marks. Then we type ada. Next, the semicolon again. And return to the PPh 21 sheet. And then, we block column take home pay until it's up to T55. And the last, close with brackets. Next, enter. For employees who don't have a taxpayer identification number or NPWP, we can just copy the formula and replace ada with tidak. And then enter. Now we have got the total take-home pay from each of these criteria. Next, we also look for the total PPh 21 payable on each criterion. The steps are the same, that is, we type the equal sum if, then left brackets. Next, we move to the PPh 21 sheet. Now we block the table from C6 to C55. Then the semicolon and quotation marks. Then we type ada and the semicolon again, and return to the PPh 21 sheet. And then we block column PPh 21 terutang from C6 to C55. The last, we do the same step by just copy the formula, then replace ada with tidak, and then enter. So, Here's how to calculate the amount of take-home pay and income tax payable using the SUMIF formula.
Okay, now we will use some formula such as SUMIF, average if, make ifs, and min ifs to make take-home pay. So, the first step is type status perkawinan in the first column, and after that, fill the row with PTKP, like TK0, and after that, move to total take-home pay. So, type jumlah take-home pay in column number 2, and after that, we use SUMIF as the formula. So, first step is type equals and then SUMIF as the formula, then round bracket and move to the PPh 21 sheet and block the table from F6 to F55, and don't forget to add absolute, and after that type the semicolon and then move again to PPh 21, and now block the table from T6 to T55, and don't forget to add absolute too. Okay, that's enough to total take home pay, and drag. Next, we will make an average take home pay and use average if as the formula. So type equals average if, then round brackets, and then move to the PPh 21 sheet and block the table from F6 to F55, and don't forget to add absolute, and after that type semicolon and then move again to PPh 21, and now block the table from T6 to T55, and don't forget to add absolute too. Okay, that's enough to average take home pay, and after that we make a maximum value of total take home pay. We use make if as the formula. So tab equals max if and then round brackets and then move to PPh 21 sheet and block the table from T6 to T55, and don't forget to add absolute. After that, type semicolon and then move again to PPh 21 sheet, and now block the table from F6 to F55, and don't forget to add absolute too. And then type semicolon and click column B, row 10. Okay, that's enough to maximum value of total take home pay. And next we make a minimum value of total take home pay, and we use min ifs as the formula. So type equals min if and then round brackets and then move to PPh 21 sheet and block the table from T6 to T55 and add absolute. After that, type semicolon and then move again to PPh 21 sheet, and now block the table from F6 to F55, and don't forget to add absolute too. And then type semicolon and click column B, row 10. Okay, that's enough to minimum value of total take home pay.
Right, following that, we will calculate gross and net income using the DSUM formula and data validation. We will calculate it using two criteria in this case, the first of which is marital status, in Indonesian status perkawinan. The first step we have to do is to create a table like this, and then use the data validation to fill in the marital status cell. Click Data, then Data Validation, Change any value to list. For search, block all marital status cells on PPh 21 sheet by clicking the blue box containing the red mark first. But because my laptop doesn't support it, so I type it manually. Now, calculate gross income with the DSUM formula. Click equal sign, then type DSUM, left parenthesis, click on PPh 21 sheet, and for the database, block all cells from A5 to T55. Semicolon, back to sheet PPh 21. For the field, click on the gross income cell, namely I5. Semicolon, and for the criteria, block cells B25 to B26. And don't forget to log all cells using an absolute formula, then write a parenthesis, then enter. Moving on to the next calculation, which is the same formula, with the only difference being the field of the formula, which changed from I5 to M5 because we calculate net income. The next task will be calculated using the second criterion, namely the taxpayer identification number status, or in Indonesian, NPWP, nomor pokok wajib pajak. First, create the table, then fill in the NPWP status cell using data validation. Then, to calculate gross income, we use the same formula as before. The difference is only the cells in the DSUM formula criteria. We block cells F25 to F26. The same formula also applies to calculating net income. The difference is only in the criteria cell in the formula. So here you go. We have finished calculating gross and net income with criteria using the DSUM formula.
We will find the payable PPh using the sum, the average, the max, the mean, and the count. We copy the marital status from the PTKP sheet. After that, we will calculate the total PPh 21 on amount with the formula same as the sum, open brackets, we move to PPh 21 sheet, then we block all tables, then a semicolon, and then block PPh 21 on amount ago, and then semicolon, and then we block the marital status until B30. Then don't forget to absolute to look the cell and then close bracket. Then we will find the average PPh 21 amount. The formula is the same as the sum, just change it to the average. We copy the formula first, then paste it. We change the sum to the average. Then we will get the result. As well as PPh 21, the highest payable in amount, we paste the formula again and change the sum become the max. Then you will get the highest PPh 21 result.
So for the next step, we gonna calculate the lowest of the PPh Pasal 21 terutang of the month. So we using the mean for our formula. First that we have to type equal and then the mean, and then we got the database from PPh Pasal 21 sheet that we block all of the data that we have, and then semicolon. You can using semicolon or comma. It depends on your laptop region setting. And then for the field that we got from PPh 21 terutang of the month, and then semicolon. And then for the criteria that we got from perhitungan sheet, we block the heading of our criteria, and then close parenthesis. We lock the formula using absolute, which is F5 bottom on your keyboard, and then you just click the enters. Then you got the result. And then for the next step is we're gonna calculate of the total of the employees or jumlah karyawan. We're using the count for this formula, type equal, and then the count. For database, it's same we got from PPh Pasal 21 sheet, and then we block all of the data, semicolon. We got the field is still the same. It's PPh Pasal 21 terutang sebulan, and then semicolon again. The criteria that we got from perhitungan sheet, block the heading of your criteria, close parenthesis, lock the formula using absolute, and then you just click enter. And then for what about the others, like the other criteria, if we drag like this, it's gonna be, the result is gonna be same like from the top to the bottom, so that we don't want it. So we use what if analysis for this formula. First thing that we should do is block all of cell that you want to calculate, and then go to the data section. You got what if analysis, and then choose data table. Choose the column input cell 1, and then pick it, and then you just click one of your criteria, and then just click OK. So why we use what if analysis for this formula? Because the function of the what if analysis, as the name is what if analysis, because if you have a lot of analyze of one data table that you have, you can use that, of course, because the function is to analyze all of the data that you have. So that's gonna be make your job easier and quickly also. And then why we use data table? Because data table is gonna be calculate your several data, because you're using a lot of data, like you're using the sum, the average, the max, the mean, and the count. It's too complicated to system calculate that when you using one by one. So if you want to be calculate together, so you can use data table for make it that make the result. So that's why we use data table and also what if analysis.